just different. Love's miracle. Love's miracle.
Yeah. Grand rising. I looked inside of my temple, became enlightened. I bring the fury, no Tyson. It's Ali Khan Bay. I'm focused on my duty. I'm here to master the day, so make way for Prince Ali. I channel my chi. We part in the sea. And just like my mother's brother, I came from up under. I came up straight out the gutter. I bring down lightning and thunder like Thor's hammer.
It's just different. Love's miracle. Love's miracle.
Yeah. Grand rising. I looked inside of my temple, became enlightened. I bring the fury, no Tyson. It's Ali Khan Bay. I'm focused on my duty. I'm here to master the day, so make way for Prince Ali. I channel my chi. We part in the sea. And just like my mother's brother, I came from up under. I came up straight out the gutter. I bring down lightning and thunder like Thor's hammer. But I'm low key when I strike. I'm piercing through the toughest armor of a night. I'm rolling up that Mafia leaf. Give me the light, no Sean Paul. If the body is the temple, I'm a Taj Mahal, never fall. We the rock of Gibraltar. Why the hell will we falter? We not under oath. Oh, he the GOAT. Well, I'm coming for the throat. He out of line. Death to the dark priest. Sincerely, the kind of cons.
3 trimesters of greatness pop. This Moorish science, this ain't pop. I recollect, applied, and perfect. It wasn't long ago, I was calling collect. In a maximum facility, now I got humility, unmatched ability, give me serenity. Virgo, Pisces, Taurus, my true trinity. The infantry, perfected symmetry. Wanna float in these waters and check your density with show efficiency. Are you complacent? You gotta look within and answer that statement. You gotta say I shade when liquid hit the pavement. Containment, master your impulses, or fall for the hypnosis. We smelling like hemp roaches, maintaining intense focus. I ain't with the excuses. If I look within, you find out where the truth is.
I'm sitting on my square all day. Studious and street Moors don't play. You talking colorable, man, fuck what you say. I know the Constitution is in my DNA. I know I'm a Moor, it's in my DNA. And I'm the true American, it's in my DNA. Got my fez in my turban, mother's DNA. I do it for the nation, activate your DNA. As I walk down the street like a street Moor, I'm looking for some food, fuck the meat store. See, once you get the truth, your body fiend for more. I study, get the bookstore. I study, and I want some more. I came out the womb, I'm not made of straw. I navigate the sea, I demonstrate the law. And I ain't speaking on that color shit at all. I'm a Lodio, Islam, I want it all. I dip in mine with the scimitar, don't be alarmed. I'm on my square, shining bright, that more's a star. Wake up, sun gaze to the morning star.
All right.
Yeah. Yo. We live by 10 laws, 5 principles. Initiation, meditate, divine rituals. We live by 10 laws, 5 principles. 1 nation, 1 God, indivisible. We live by 10 laws, 5 principles. Initiation, meditate, divine rituals. We live by 10 laws, 5 principles. 1 nation, 1 God, indivisible. Yo, bringing forth light through the dark. That's the first thing that Drew Ali taught. You're a divine being, can't be sold, nor be bought. Like a star, all caps like a corporation. You're a star off the charts from the constellations. This is serious, B. We gotta save a nation, no procrastination. Pick up the GS and Tariku teachers. Knowledge of self, not paperwork, gon' free us. Rahu Nefer, I'm in the real metal, little purist. And a email Bay, one of the truest to ever do this. Middle finger to you conscious, fuck thoughts that turned Judas. Criminal minded, took a lifetime to cure this. The lies of my eye, that's what the wisdom of the womb is. The wisdom of the womb is what the ultimate truth is. Horus watching your actions, don't care who knew this. Manetta is peace, Islam like a Buddhist.
10 lies, 5 principles to eliminate the flaws, align the individual. This is effect of the cause, complex but so simple. Take a pause, take in the instrumental. Things coincide, nothing coincidental. No mistakes, nothing accidental. Occupy the space, we call it the temple. Open up the safe, give them what's essential. If they violate, fingernails and the dentals ain't leaving no trace. Elements are fundamentals. Apply the law of attraction. What you do has an opposite or equal reaction. The end set, plans ain't shit without actions.
Lossable, 5 principle, these articles, William standing, laws cancelable, immutable, and all constitutional by law. These lossable, 5 principle, 10 articles, enforceable, this official, so official, and all constitutional by law. Psychopaths, my seal be my thumb fingerprint, red ink stamp, shut down the Big Bang. 10 plus 7 articles, that's it, man. A dumb don't get it, the sun gon' set, gon' be a big bang. I'm more beautiful, that's a good thing. God has a trust, y'all wanna buck, call for some red shoes. Y'all wanna bless fool with a hoodwink, make the skin cherry leather, trying to be something you can never. Black's dead necro, I'm a full of life spectrum. Whistleblower, a lot of prana, that before the sauna. You're not a man, you an iguana. Who said we're not in Africa? Look up, Gunzwana. But dunce wanna cuss, met them boy, yeah. Learn your unalienables. Tell you more, but it's unbelievable.
We live by 10 laws, 5 principles. Initiation, meditate, divine rituals. We live by 10 laws, 5 principles. One nation, one God, indivisible. We live by 10 laws, 5 principles. Initiation, meditate, divine rituals. We live by 10 laws, 5 principles. One nation, one God, indivisible.
Principles, get your conduct straight, crocodile back. Divine law violators won't give a smile back, much less a nod. When I hail up, they screw face up. So dead like Harvey has their 2 faces up. Trust less, cause trust more is left for worthy. No principles but justice, Furthermore, that's dirty. Planes correspond from matter to energy. Swimming in the sub-realms for mental and spirit affinity. Vibrate and cause light and heat magneticity. From the lower mind to the higher mind, breast simplicity. The rules, the capacity for pain and pleasure is so balanced. You can cause an imbalance. Never, y'all taking chances on rappers. I move with law and order. Outside and independent of all is chaos, disorder. Cause the root of everything that happens or doesn't. Deny an effect means the law is repugnant. Elevation stunted, even drunk or blunted. Will have you misdirected by the false pundits. Trying to hit a grand slam when you should have bunted. Spiritual abundance keeps demons dungeon.
That spooky shit's not mystical. The boogeyman you fear is invisible. The cookie that you smoke's not original. The pussy said this stroking is minuscule. The God in the flesh, indivisible for now. That's why it's called individual. Can't divide the two, and this God's a criminal. Y'all about, but I'm cynical. Invincible among bare minimals, maximizing 10 laws, 5 principles. That's the guy that comes with no shittable, no fucks, facts around facts, centrifugal, mass reach a critical, peeling the pineal, back reach the pinnacle, sealing the deal with no ceiling, no floor, while I ridicule the charming snakes that limit you and christen you.
We live by 10 laws, 5 principles, initiation, meditate, divine rituals. We live by 10 laws, 5 principles, one nation, one God, indivisible. We live by 10 laws, 5 principles, initiation, meditate, divine rituals. We live by 10 laws, 5 principles, one nation, one God, indivisible.
North Star. H2O. Let's go. Let's go.
Shanice! Love you, baby. Live your life, people. Let's go. We pray for protection, but they say live fearless. If life is eternal, where's the start and the finish? How you not a god if you created Yah's image? An infinite soldier who has no limits. Still searching in the Bible for that word Christmas. No J in Hebrew, so who is Jesus? Yah and Yoshua, the language that I speak it. Even if it wasn't, the Most High is present. So man thinketh, so man becometh. So anything is possible if you want it. And I want it, intensify the pressure. I survived cold nights with no sweater. While diving still her favorite pleasure. I couldn't measure up, but I heard her darkest whispers. That's priceless. No TV eating TV dinner, that is Yah's gift. Question your belief until you know it. We reap what we sow, yo, that's cause and effective. Rebel out of cause, you become reactive. And that's no good, that's no good, so just live your life. Say they died for the flash, I blame the flash on Diana's car crash. Stand or near, it's all the same to me. Cause slavery's not physical, it's mentally. Live your life, I did. So I planted flat around, does that even matter? I'd rather question why my last student stuck in a silver dollar. Stop the chitter chatter, let's talk something real. Could be fake, but listen still. Time to give 50 a large pill. You had to 3 meals before you kill Bill. Kill a legacy or a proper will. I knew it. The world's a stage, check my outfit. I don't follow trends, just my mindset. In the front line, still behind set. Drinking up Corona with no effects. Kobe's probably happy that he left. Back in the days, they played games and the winner seen death. With a smile on his face, cause he knew a better place. No deception and no race. So just in case you forget, say they died for the flash, or blame the flash on Diana's car crash. Stand or near, it's all the same to me. Cause slavery's not physical, it's mentally. Live your life. Say they died for the flash, or blame the flash on Diana's car crash. Stand or near, it's all the same to me. Cause slavery's not physical, it's mentally. Live your life.
The tassel on my face, swing 360, no WWE, so you can't pin me. Gotta strive to be pure at heart, mind and indeed. The tassel on my face, swing 360, no WWE, so you can't pin me. Gotta strive to be pure at heart, mind and indeed. Win some, lose some, Wing Chun. Haters get taxed like income. Make it look easy, no tension, fool. Now you ain't the shit, you an income pool. Where I eat beats like lentil soup. Push it to the limit and then some too. Flexing with this one. Going hard like I'm in some. The tassel on my face, swing 360, no WWE, so you can't pin me. Gotta strive to be pure at heart, mind and indeed. The tassel on my face, swing 360, no WWE, so you can't pin me. Gotta strive to be pure at heart, mind and indeed. Win some, lose some, Wing Chun. Haters get taxed like income. Make it look easy, no tension, fool. Now you ain't the shit, you an nincompoop. Where I eat beats like lentil soup. Push it to the limit and then some too. Flexing with this one. Going hard like I'm in some. Stick and weave, keep your chin tucked. Or them legs turn noodle like instant. We used to throw on the gloves, get it in, son. Then I graduated, started hustling some. I was moving weight, no gym, but you ain't gotta chase bank like Jinx, son. I just kick back, hit the mentors. It's a big universe, you in the center. The tassel on my face, swing 360, no WWE, so you can't pin me. Gotta strive to be pure at heart, mind, and indeed. The tassel on my face, swing 360, no WWE, so you can't pin me. Gotta strive to be pure at heart, mind, and indeed.
Indeed. 360. Highest common denominator. 9 no votes who nominated to dominate it. Star shaped cause animated to animated. Suspend to elevated to degraded. Center of the uniword. In tune, I mean, I drew reincarnated, but imitated. Give it time. Not done till you cross the T, dot the I. Registered mail certified. No WWE, this UFC, no refs, just legalese. Vietnamese, not yellow. Stay still, stop, move like jello. Islam, not hollering out hello. Tell you, Paragon is an example of a perfect Moroccan
tassel on my face, swing 360, no WWE, so you can't pin me. Gotta strive to be pure at heart, mind, and indeed. The tassel on my face, swing 360, no WWE, so you can't pin me. Gotta strive to be pure at heart, mind, and indeed.
Most high is one of the greatest. Think you lower, you're under your status. Black leaders under the takers. Can't unite pedophiles and rapists. What's love got to do with all them haters? What's Jews got to do? You still a dagger. Kill you, you're in the graves. I'm trying to get out. Move your feet, seize. Move, be, get your shot away. Or I'll stay till your shore decay. Yeah.
Islam, Moors. Islam. Peace and love to all the Moors worldwide. I'm going to be here for a little while, so, get ready. I'm going to be here for a little while. So we know that there's been a campaign. There's been a campaign going on. Against our brothers and our mothers. And the campaign is to make sure that you look at the rise of the Moorish militia situation as an outsider. They want you to look at it from outsider. So this is how the outsiders talk. I just want to let you know this is how they talk to you. Right? This is how they present it.
Into the group charged in the weekend highway standoff with police. They call themselves the Rise of the Moors, but that's causing some confusion and anxiety for another group, the Moorish Science Temple of America. As WBZ Chief Investigator Cheryl Fiandaca shows us, the Moors say the men have distorted their message.
You're not prepared to tell me your name?
No. More defiance in court from suspects in Saturday's highway shutdown as they faced a judge in Malden on gun charges.
You are charged with 6 counts. Count 1, carrying a firearm without a license. Count 2, possess a large capacity firearm.
Police arrested the group of 11 heavily armed men on Route 95 in Wakefield. Jamal Latimer, the self-proclaimed leader of the Rise of the Moors, told police they were on their way to a training camp. The so-called militia group based in Rhode Island claims to be Moorish sovereign citizens who are not subject to the laws of the United States.
You're trying to force me to a jurisdiction that doesn't apply to me.
The leaders of the National Moorish Organization in Atlanta, called Moorish Science Temple of America, founded in 1928, say they have nothing to do with the Rise of the Moors, who they call a bootleg group.
It's almost like identity theft, if you will. and they have created a great confusion. We just want to basically separate ourselves from the misguidedness of these individuals.
And setting the record straight, Moorish Science Temple of America says they follow the laws, have driver's licenses, pay taxes, and own their own property.
We are Americans. The prophet said that we are Moorish Americans. We want you to know that our religion is Islam.
Well, all of the members of the group charged in connection with the highway standoff were held without bail. They're all due back in court on Friday for a detention hearing. Anna Rittis?
Chief Investigator Cheryl Fiandaca live in the studio. Thank you.
So that's how they talk. It's a lot more. Let's see if
Islam. I know I had myself mic muted.
It's all good. It's all good. That ain't nothing. So you got to hear what they said. So I just want you to just address what you just heard. Based on what we were talking about, somebody being on the inside and not looking at it from TV or whatever BS people want to say.
Yeah, man, it's from the inside. I mean, like being on the outside and looking at situations, and then being on the inside of a situation and being able to look out, you see, and you can connect. You just connect dots. You see how they completely control narratives, and they only go broadcast sides or opinions from people who basically have the same motive or narrative as they do. I can guarantee at no time nobody ever said they were sovereign citizens. I'm pretty sure at the time of the incident itself, it was stated that nobody was sovereign citizens. But they gotta create a narrative. They have to draw the attention elsewhere. So but they sloppy. The way they went about it is it just shows. It just show their true colors, man. It's worse than you think that they is. Everybody know that they bad, and you see the shit that they do, but it's actually worse. If you can believe that, it's actually worse than you can imagine. The lengths that they're willing to go to, because none of these people these news people, radio stations, none of these people want to correct the narrative, or what I'm saying, they only want one-sided stories. So they put the mic up to your mouth and they record everything you say, but if it don't go along with bettering their position, then it's gonna be shoved to the side. And that's how they've been going about everything, from motions to court hearings themselves, to switching judges every day, to it's just they gotta say we sovereign citizens because they have to point to the attention elsewhere. But
now let me ask you this question: What? Because I know how I felt, but when you hear people who are supposed to have a holy covenant, and supposed to uplift their brother and all this, what do you say directly with regard to people who have that type of mindset of, abandon their nation for Constantinism or whatever?
I mean, a traitor is a traitor. It's not. I don't think it's another word to call it. What you believe in, you believe in. So if somebody can persuade you to believe other than what you truly believe in, then it's only out of fear. You know what I'm saying? And if you convert or you agree to switch sides, at the end of the day, you still got to live with that because it's like for example, it's like being religious and saying you don't believe in an afterlife or a judgment day, and then truly believing in a judgment day. So just because you have that true feeling is gonna sway your actions. So I mean, they just show their colors. This situation really just let people pop their head out of the dirt, come from underneath their rocks,
Mm-hmm.
try to get a little bit of a spotlight, try to make themselves seem relevant and say something. But man, I just look at it like people they just bored, man, and it's just sad, man. Honestly, I just don't. I mean, just gotta pray for him or something, I guess. Straight. I mean, you gotta. I mean.
Yeah, bring back the mayor of steel. That's the praying. You gotta bring
Yeah,
back the mayor of steel on these people. That's what they need.
yeah,
That's
man.
what.
I don't know what's. I don't know what's up. They need hugs from the Pope or something. I mean, that's how they really feeling. They feeling. I mean, it's just a repeat of history, man. At the end of the day, it's just a repeat of history. People just they turning their back on what they believe in out of fear and the consequences and uh or whatever it may be. But I mean, you can only turn your back so far. So uh
No,
and by
no,
the
no. Sorry to interrupt you. So we can forget them. So talk about that. Talk about that thing of Well, how come you're still on more science? Does what happened to you mean that more science doesn't work, or Moorish nationality doesn't work, or like, do you have any thoughts on, you know?
I mean, the at the end of the day, I'm always gonna be me, so that plays a large part of it. Uh, and it's not really about beliefs when it comes. It's not really about beliefs or opinions to me. So I can tell you something, and I could tell you my favorite color, for example, and you could tell me that, oh, this color is better than that color. Well, technically, technically they just all colors. It's just a wavelength. So I'm gonna just take it to like the technicality of the situation. It's all one color, a different wavelength. So I'm not gonna take it to I like this wavelength better. So if we're gonna talk about it to that Pacific level, then let's talk about the wavelength. I like this wavelength better than that wavelength. So when it comes to the more science situation, the fact of the matter is this is what it is. So regardless of you choosing to respect it or you choosing not to respect it, the facts is still the facts. It's not going to change the truth because you have the bigger stick in the situation, and you feel like, oh, I have the bigger stick and I'm gonna use the bigger stick unless you change your mind. Well, I'm not gonna change my mind because at the end of the day, if you decide to use the bigger stick, you decide to use the bigger stick. So that's just how I feel about the situation. Like uh, I can I can bring, for example, and this is have been done and it's on the record for the record. So it's you can bring a certified copy, stamped and sealed from the Library of Congress, and this de facto government will tell you that this is a purported document, meaning that this is either a falsified document or this a document is based off of assumption, even though that this same document is certified from the Library of Congress or a federal court or it's an official document. So they going to respect what they want to respect, and they going to adhere to the rules that they choose to adhere to. But at this point, I know how to play basketball, so I don't double dribble. Just because I play a game against somebody who doesn't know basketball, I'm not going to double dribble. I've created a form. I've created a foundation, and this is what I stand on. So I can't really move other than how now that I know. So they can say this is incorrect information or false information, or what they can say whatever they want to say. At the end of the day, the situation is what it is. This is 2 + 2 is 4, regardless to if 7 is your favorite number or whatever your favorite number is. The truth is the truth. So you can 2 + 2 is 4 and 7 is still your favorite number at the end of the day. But so that's just how I feel about it. It's just as simple as that to me. The truth is the truth, regardless to your opinion. So they have the bigger stick. So they're making it seem like 2 + 2 is 12 because they have the stick and they say, well, say it's 12 or I'm gonna hit you with the stick, and everybody is like 12. You know?
That's exactly how it went too, you know.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
That's exactly how it went. As soon as it happened, like you said, you just saw the people popping their head out their hole all of a sudden. You know, people came from nowhere, just popping up, head out the hole, head out the hole.
Like literally.
Like literally, that's what happened. As soon as the stuff went down and it was over, it was maybe a day after. People popping up out of nowhere. All of a sudden, what did the Moors say in the chat? They're the Moor inspector now. Now they're the inspector of the Moors. These people who you ask them their nationality, they're not going to tell you what it is or whatever, but they're going to try to tell you about Moorish something or the other, or they got some perspective about it. You need to hear what they're saying. They're not Moors. They have nothing to do with this. Their job is just to sway the people away from this. They don't care what you go to. You just better get away from this Moorish thing, because this Moorish thing is gonna get you like what Moorish militia got and all that stuff.
Yeah, man, but they pay to promote that. And like I said, it's like no matter where they is, you know what I'm saying? Like sellouts, whether they in the chat, whether they in you know what I'm saying, they trolling on IG or they trolling on Facebook or whatever the social media, Twitter that's popping nowadays, whatever they trolling on, at the end of the day, these people is just, it sucked to have to use the metaphor of the Matrix, but I don't think it's a better metaphor to use. These people is just used to being bullied. They just used to being controlled and manipulated, so that they say and they do whatever they have to fit in or to get by. But it's like they the type to, like I said, they gonna roll over and die. They gonna play possum. That's who they is. Like they gonna stick their head out after the fact. But none of these people and I haven't really done too much looking around to see who said what, because I really don't care. I don't really pay too much attention to that grand sheet. But I know that it's gonna be both sides, and it's gonna be those people out there that's just reaching for attention. They just reaching. They literally like the DA. They just reach anything. He dropped the quarter in the mall in 2007 and he left it there. He didn't even pick up the quarter. He walked past a bum at the gas station and he didn't give him a cigarette. I'm gonna give you a cigarette. I don't smoke cigarettes. Like he don't. It's like what these people is. They just gonna say whatever it is that they have the opportunity to say, but they just don't know no better. So it's like at a point, it's like before people get to use the chat or comment on an IG post or whatever it is, it's like DM me a picture of your at least a fucking GED. Prove to me, like 50 Cent did Floyd Mayweather. Send me a video of yourself reading a page of Dr. Seuss, Green Eggs and Ham. Because a lot of these people just stupid and they just talking just to talk. So it's like they just don't know no better. So it's like at one point in time, you had to chain your slaves. At one point in time, you had to cut their feet off. Then eventually it came to the point where you didn't need chains. So a lot of these people are just those ones. They the ones that don't need chains.
Yeah.
So it's like, you just weed out the herd. So it's like, yeah, they talk because they can talk, but they don't really know what it is to talk about, or they just internet. As far as I'm concerned, they just digital people. They might not even really, not even really exist.
Yeah. just a bot.
Exactly.
Yeah. You had brought up the corrupt people, the people who really are people should be looking at and saying, well, hey, how come this and how come that or whatever? How many how come or why are they doing this? Situations happen relative to these people who are claiming to be the authority and them doing very extremely questionable things in these proceedings that they would say is supposed to be, law and constitutional and all that and rights and whatever. What type of violations did you experience?
Man, just what you would expect, man, honestly. Just what you would expect. It's how I look at it, man. It's a law of the land, and the law of the land is based off of principles. It's based off of a moral. It's based off of a ethical concept and a way of life for real of how you treat other people and how people are supposed to be treated, and not just people but things. Like just the environment altogether. So it's like you could just really just leave it at the First Amendment. I have the right to believe whatever it is that I believe in. I have the right to. It's just like you don't even have to go to as far as being that specific. That's specific as far as what right it is that they broke, because they basically broke them all, man. They broke them all. They create shit called these caretaking situations and etc. Other situations and other scenarios, which are really just back doors on ways to get around your rights. At the end of the day, that's all it is. So they created a system of back doors to your rights. So that's what it is. It's a bunch of back doors. It's a bunch of doors, and they stand on the other side of in this hallway, and they pick and choose on what door it is that they need to use at that time. So, it's a caretaking situation now. Oh, it's or it's this at this point in time, or every right, man. As far as the fact of us being able to practice our religion. Okay, I want to. I want my fez. I want my religious Quran. They saying, oh, you can't get books from Moorish authors, or the fez won't be an option in this facility, or you tell me that. Like you tell me the Jews with their I can't even think of the name of the dang on hat right now, but the Muslims with the kufis and whatever other religion it is out there that have a religious or a national headdress that they wear, they have them, regardless to where they is. So this is before and after. The first thing that they took from me was my fez. That was the first thing that they took from me was my fez and my turban. That was the first thing they took from me. When I was and upon being released, I didn't get my fez or my turban back.
So they're really trying to make you not be a Moor.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, they're gonna do whatever they can do.
Yeah.
At this point, they just using their imaginations.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's like the prophet said, a fez and a turban doesn't make you a Moor.
Straight.
Moors are born, not made. So it's not and if it was that serious, I could buy another fez. But I catch your drift. More to me, it's more like, oh, I see how dirty you playing. So they just showing their hands. And at this point, I know that they're willing to do anything at this point by bringing us to court. And it's supposed to be a open court. Nobody's in the courtroom except officers of the court. Zoom ain't even up. So it's a lot of these minds, at least, wasn't even on Zoom. So for all these people who talking and they feel like they know something, these people are probably, I don't even know, they probably the perfect United States citizens. They the perfect bots. Good driving record, good credit. I mean, you just name it. These people is just, they gonna take the easy way out. You tell these people, you show these people proof and everything, and they gonna say, "Well, I've been doing it this way for so long. Why would I change?" Or if I change and I do it that way, it's gonna be so much harder. Or, I mean, it's a right thing and it's a wrong thing to do. A lot of people just don't have, they just don't have that type of vision. They just don't see. They just don't see like that. They just don't see like, if everything stays the same, then nothing will change. So if people plan on information getting out at least, or people plan on changing situations, then people have to stand up and do something. So it's like a lot of these people wouldn't even, a lot of these people don't even have enough like courage to pull a Rosa Parks, like just sit in the front of the bus. Let's just see you do that. Like, just do anything. Like, so it's not like angels versus angels. So it's two sides playing by the rules. It's angels versus demons. These people don't, I mean, they drink babies. A lot of these people in these that side with these people are on their way to these same type of situations. They just like, they don't have any type of moral, ethical standards at all. They don't have no type of principles. So it's like, you can't sit here and tell me that wrong is wrong and right is right, and then look at a situation and then apply that and then say it doesn't count in certain situations. I mean, it just is what it is. Nobody hurt anybody. Nobody planned on hurting anybody. Nobody is though that type of person to hurt anybody. Nobody infringed on anybody. Nobody said stop and nobody didn't stop. Nobody said don't and anybody just, you know what I'm saying, ignored it and did what they wanted to do. None of that was the situation. It was a bunch of people minding their own business, doing what they decided to do or what they wanted to do, or however you want to look at it. But it was like, you can't just pick and choose. And it's like a lot of the paperwork will show you how they really think. Through legislation, and this is their words, through legislation, they have the power to turn any activity into a crime. So you have the power through Massachusetts, through legislation, has the power to turn any activity into a crime. So
whether there's evidence or not, that's where they're going.
Right, whether there's evidence or not, or regardless to the situation, or regardless to the activity. You know what I'm saying? And fellas bring it up like, okay, if Massachusetts decides that walking to the store is a crime, we have to skip, or we have to jog, we have to run, we can't walk to the store because Massachusetts said it's a crime. Just because you said something is a crime doesn't mean you can say that the person who did that activity is a criminal. The activity that you're saying is a crime may not be criminal. It may not be a criminal activity.
Right.
You can't say that this person that fucking jaywalked is a criminal, the same as this person who is a lifetime career fucking carjacker or murderer.
Yeah.
It's not the same. I understand where you're coming from. Oh, jaywalking puts people at risk. It puts the person itself at risk, or it may cause somebody to swerve off the road. I get what you're saying, but you still can't equate the two things to the same. One thing is wrong because it's wrong. The other thing is only wrong because you said it's wrong.
And them saying it's wrong is where they're going with situations, dealing with things that are we'd say a threat to them, or
right,
to their existence, or their being established, or whatever the case is. So they have to create it, and then they have their little buildings that they would send people to, and you know, lock them up if they try to fight against that, or that position that they're taking.
Yeah, because at this point, man, at this point, it's all about survival, and our people fail to get up out of their comfort zones and look at the situation for what the situation is. The situation is survival. Everything that they doing, they're not just doing it because they get shits and they just get giggles out of it. They doing it because they have to do it. They do it because this is their only way of maintaining and keeping their game up afloat. They have to do this. So it's like you either with the tide or you against it. It's as simple as that. You either drilling holes in the boat or you plugging them. So a lot of people just, I mean, they just in denial, man. They just in denial.
Yeah.
They just want to be part of their slavery system so bad. Like the Samuel L. Jackson character in Django or whoever, I forget who, I think it's Samuel Jackson who played the dude, but it's like they just want to be comfortable in their shackles.
Yeah.
But I mean, okay. I mean, I give you you have a right to breathe. Nobody has to write down that you have this right to breathe. It's the right of self-preservation. Right? Which a lot of rights come from this right of self-preservation. Way before any documents was written, there was a rhino that had a horn for self-preservation. Nature's law. A lot of these things come, and it's just like people.
Scorpion got a tail.
Exactly. And I guarantee you, he don't have. It's not no Scorpion's DMV. It's not no. It's not. It don't work like that, bro.
Yeah.
It don't work like that. So it's like, man, people want to let these systems, these groups, corporations, these institutions be their God. Well, you do that. You let these things be your God, but don't try to make me convert into your religion. If that's how you want to look at it, if you want to look at it like a religious thing, then look at it like that. I don't want to be a Christian. I don't want to be a whatever it is that you call yourself. I don't want to be that. So it's like you're going to, at the end of the day, they want to, oh, you should do it this way because this is how it's supposed to be. But if I can do it this way and nobody gets hurt and this is what I get my happiness from, then don't I have the right to fucking pursue my happiness?
Right. Especially if you're not hurting anybody else.
Exactly. I'm not hurting nobody. I'm not trespassing on nobody's property. I'm not infringing on nobody or their property in any type of way. I'm minding my own business. The situation was literally, it's just, I don't get it.
Go ahead, Mark.
It's like the situation was created by, it's like the person who want to stick their hand in the fan and then get mad once the blade actually touches their hand. You created the situation. You put your hand in the fan.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody did anything to harm anybody or to like intentionally like cause any type of fucking scene.
Yeah.
The whole situation was literally created because of the reactions of certain people and the situations that certain people were in prior to that. So that's how it played out. But it is what it is. A lot of these people, the facts of, you're not gonna let me, for all of these people who in there and they're talking and like they're talking for like one side, they're talking for the corporation, they're talking for the foreign European colonizers. There's people who side with them. They realize deep down inside that they're trash. I mean, how can you, it's like that same person, you're trying to tell me that you're gonna let me come into your house and tell you that you can't go into your refrigerator or you can't use your bathroom. You have to use the guest bathroom, or you have to go outside, or you have to order. Like, you're gonna let me come into your house and tell you what you can do inside your house.
Yeah. And I think part of what you said too. Like it's almost like an extinction level event for them, us waking up.
That's exactly what it is.
And they're like, listen, they can wake up to certain degrees, right? You know, from slavery to a certain line. And once you start getting over that line, they start dealing with you differently. You know, they start dealing with you like you're actually a threat now. You can do that kente cloth, shea butter stuff all you want. But you start talking about nationality and stuff like that. You start going there into the part of nationality. There's an issue. Right? There's an issue. You know what I mean? There's when I remember conscious whatever being in that realm, right? And there were certain brothers who were at the boardroom table with certain people. There were certain people who were at the seats of the head of whatever, but they weren't a threat because we were just dealing with some conscious whatever. They ain't gonna amount to anything. All these more said, we're gonna go. Okay, let's go camping. Let's go camping, and because these Moors mastered camping, they're like, nah, you can't go camping. No matter what, you can't do it. I don't care what you say. I don't care what reason you give. You're not going camping. People up and down every day. People up and down right now going camping. No issues. So like more saying, it's a created thing. You know, they created this thing. Like they made, you know, and it could only be because they realized that it was done for them. They realized that it was done. Right? They realized that it was done. They had no other option but to go for a scorpion tail. Pincers didn't work. The pincers didn't work. All right. What is the more right there? Islam more.
Islam.
Yeah. But yeah, the whole thing with them creating this thing and then leading it.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy.
And for a lot of people who don't exactly understand what that mean by when I'm saying that is, it's like it's a two-way street too, because a lot of people was asking us like, man, it's the 4th of July, it's 4th of July weekend. Was this some type of like conspiracy? Like, was this some type of like show off type of thing? Like, what was y'all really trying to do? Like, a lot of people was looking at the situation like, and I don't see how somebody could even fathom this. Like a bunch of people got together and was like, yeah, we just gonna park sideways on the highway. This is the picture that they created. Getting out and being able to look at everything that was released. They made it look at like vehicles parked on the highway, blocked it off, shut down the E-way, and a situation played out from there. That's the narrative that they created from the facts and the evidence that they had from whether it be drone footage or whatever the hell, like body cam. This is the narrative that they took and ran. Also, the statements that the officers made while they was being recorded on body cam, right? So the dude said, oh, they know they laws, this, that, and the third. They said they these people, they doing this. Then he throws in the like sovereign citizens. Now the officer said that, and eventually it was said and it was repeated by the officers. The DA took that and ran with that and released that to the press or to whoever it was that gave a statement to the press, whether it be the chief of police or whoever it was that gave the interview. But they created the situation. They said that they approached the situation, but they're saying that the situation was cars blocking off the E-way. That don't even make sense. Anybody in their right mind will say, how does two cars manage to block off the E-way? What did they pull horizontally on the E-way and block off the E-way, and then what? That don't make sense, bro. It literally makes sense, but it literally makes no sense unless you want it to, right? Unless you just one of those people who take information and you just eat it. You don't ask questions, like a lot of people have, like a lot of us did growing up. Like we took Christopher Columbus discovered America and we didn't question it, even though it struck that it didn't make sense. All right. So it's like, that's what's going on. They're giving you information, but you really need to think about it and ask yourself, does it make sense? If Christopher Columbus discovered America, then who was the people who popped their head out the bushes, supposedly, and fed these people while they were starving in the winter and taught them how to fish and garden, read and write? And who was those people if they discovered America? Obviously, it was people here already. It's the same situation, but they're painting it a certain way so that it doesn't look as bad as it is. A lot of the officers, a lot of the people simply said, yeah, man, if y'all didn't look how y'all looked, then they would have did like the town. Now, anybody who's seen the movie Town know what that means. It means look the other way. That's what it means. It means look the other way. You see some people, you don't want nothing to, you look the other way. That's basically what he was saying, even though the situation wasn't really how he thought it was, because he's still looking at the situation like how he painted the situation, which was the town. The officer turned around and seen a bunch of dudes standing there armed and decided to turn around and not look. But that wasn't the situation. That's just how he said it was. And people just eat up this information and they just run with it. But those are the same people who, like I said, they're the conversos. They're the people who don't need chains. They're the comfortable slaves. They got the golden shackles, but just because they golden, they don't. My shackles is golden. I'm cool. I'm not worried about running away because my shackles is golden. Those is those people. But it's like some of us who rather just not have shackles at all. So at the end, that's just what it comes down to. So
I was thinking about this. When you were talking about the thing on the highway and all that. One of the things that was interesting was the body cam footage of the highwayman who first got there, and how there was absolutely no threat. Talk about the whole thing with the dangerousness hearing, because they kept that was part of the narrative on the outside, was painted like there was some type of dangerous situation going on to justify again the fake crime that they're saying he committed.
Yeah, man. No way was there any type of dangerousness. Now, for anybody listening, gather and take in all the information that you have to this point, whether you know it to be true or false at this point, and just put that together and listen to what I'm telling you. There was no threat of dangerousness at all. Now, if you're trying to tell me that somehow there's the Constitution grants some type of right to do things that are dangerous or do things that are wrong, then correct me. Put it in the chat. But that's like saying there's a war going on. There's two armies fighting against each other. One of those armies, well, both of those armies are armed. Just because somebody is armed, does that make them dangerous? Does that make them dangerous? Or does that make them safe? Right? Or just because somebody is you really can't look at that. They have no way on painting this picture unless they're dealing with a society that they have created, a dumbed down bunch of sheep who are going to follow the voice of whoever it is talking, that they know the voice. So it's like, okay, let's say you see a cop on the side of the road. The cop is standing on the side of the road. The cop is in full uniform and he's armed. I'm not sure what the officer is doing. His vehicle ain't nowhere in sight. You just see the officer standing on the road and he's armed and he's in uniform. Is this officer dangerous? Because he's in a uniform and he's armed on the side of the road. Does that make him dangerous? All right. Has he done anything dangerous? So it's like they tell you that this is dangerous because you don't know that you have a right to change your religion. Then they're gonna tell you that changing your religion is actually dangerous. Right? So you like, okay, I don't want to change my religion because that's dangerous. But is that dangerous, or is it just dangerous because they say it's dangerous? You dealing with power strong people. So it is what they say it is. Doesn't necessarily make it true. For all these people that are saying that, okay, they're right in this situation. Okay, slavery, the ability to own a human being as a pet, as a property, as your own toy or whatever you wanted to do with it, was once okay, because these same people with the same ideology felt a certain way. This power, they felt like they had the right to do certain things, but they had to go about it a certain way. You couldn't be a human and they do this to you, so they made you other than a human. So it's like, the threat was the invaders, the colonizers, the conquistadors, whatever you want to call it. There was never no threat. And if you actually get the opportunity to see any of the evidence, then you will be able to tell that if there was a danger at any point in time, that it didn't come from the side that the media portrayed to be dangerous. Because if somebody tell you that, oh no, we peaceful, trying to shake hands and cracking jokes and going back and forth and being cordial, and how is any of that dangerous? If you pay attention to it. But like I said, some of these people, it's not even worth talking to. They already have their mind made up, because a lot of these people haven't seen the evidence. They haven't seen what is said when they walk away, right? They've only seen the footage that the colonizers presented. They haven't seen unredacted video footage. They've seen excerpts from the colonizers. So if we was dangerous, why would he say, should we just let him go? If he's dangerous, why would you say that? If you catch somebody beating up their girlfriend, you're not gonna say, well, should we just let him go? No, that's not an option. If the situation wasn't how the situation actually was factually, that statement from one officer to the other officer would have never been made. Nobody was ever dangerous.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I think they missed that part. Say that part again that you just said. That this is what the highwayman said. You're saying?
Yeah, this is what one officer.
You can't make this up. You can't make this up. Listen, if the damn highwayman.
Yeah, man. So it's like, you have to be realistic, man. You have to use common sense. You have to think for yourself, and just ask yourself, why would somebody say that if these people supposedly are dangerous, pose some type of dangerousness to the community or individual? Why would you say, should we just let them go? The only problem is they don't have a driver's license, or they don't have his shoe is untied. Should we just let them go? So how are you going to try to say that somebody is dangerous if you don't have a reason of dangerous? When you asked about probable cause, you didn't say they seem dangerous or it seemed like a dangerous situation. It seemed like it seems like things could get out of hand. None of that was said. Probable cause was I don't know. I was making sure I was trying to stop and see if everything was okay. You was trying to stop and see if everything was okay. It's so many holes, and it's really I honestly feel like because of the officer was, I think personally I think drunk, but he was definitely under the influence of something. But I would say drunk because of how he spoke really. So the initial officer could not have had probable cause at all. By several things point this out. Several things point out by his own words saying, and I quote, "I don't know what I have here because I didn't stop him." Now, if you say that, that means at the time of the stop, there was no dangerous situation going on. All right? That means if it's a caretaking situation, then you didn't have probable cause to stop us. So you didn't stop us based off of probable cause. So you're trying to say that you stopped us based off of a caretaking situation. When you put in all of this, when you put in all of the facts, it just doesn't make sense because you're trying to say that, oh, it was a caretaking situation, but the caretaking situation involved you seeing a group of people standing on the highway, blocking off the road, armed, pumping gas. That don't even make sense. Oh, it's a bunch of people over there armed, pumping gas. Let me make sure they okay. Why would that be a caretaking situation? You should have probable cause off the jump if that was what you seen. But that's not what he seen. But that's what he said he seen because he didn't have probable cause. It don't take 15, 16, it don't take more, it takes one person to pump gas. But he had to make his statements match his body cam, which is why they used the excerpts that they used and cut out all the parts where he's like, oh, I don't know what I have here. Him admitting to not having probable cause. I don't know what I have here because I didn't stop him. That statement right there itself proves several things. It proves that you didn't have a probable cause, right? It proves that it wasn't a caretaking situation, right? Because you don't know what you have here. So how is it a caretaking situation? If it's a caretaking, oh, this person is drowning, I don't know what I have here. No, if this person is drowning, a legit caretaking situation, then you stop the person from drowning, right? Oh, this person looks like he ran out of gas on the side of the E-way. He's pumping gas. What else do you need? What can you possibly help us with? If that's what you've seen. If that's what you've seen. How do you help somebody pumping gas if you witnessed them pumping gas? Okay, they ran out of gas, obviously. They're putting gas in the car. They don't need no help. It's like people just stupid. They just don't, they just take one side of the story and they look at these, like I said, but they look at them like angels. These people don't do nothing wrong. The KKK ain't infiltrated the police department and the courthouses. That didn't happen. Judges ain't used to let people get drug out of court and set on fire in the court parking lot. Judges ain't used to do that, but they did though. And it wasn't that long ago. People making it seem like the system that we talk about, that we refer to, is an ancient system. It's not an ancient system. A lot of our grandmothers' parents were born into slavery. That's not that long ago. That's not that many generations ago. And it's not just slavery, it's the system of slavery. It's that mentality. It's is using that ideology and implanting that into every institution, right? So it's like if it had been a bunch of Billy Joes and I don't know, if it had been a bunch of modern day Europeans, Caucasian people on the side of the road, and the situation would have played out exactly how it played out according to the facts, then the situation would have never made it past anything. They would have not denied the peaceful gesture of a handshake, and they would have shaken hands, and the situation would have played out differently.
Yeah.
But because who he was, the handshake wasn't even received, and that's a peaceful. How can you say somebody is dangerous if they walking up to you and they're asking you and they're trying to shake your hand?
Yeah.
And they're explaining to you the situation before you can even ask. They're telling you what's up. How is that? How is any of that dangerous? And this same officer said to all, other officers who arrived, yeah, they being peaceful, they cooperating, they willing to give names, they willing to do this, that, and the third. But him being drunk or under the influence of some type of substance, right? He didn't ask everybody for names. He only asked whatever it was that made him pick and choose. He only asked who he picked and who he chose to ask names from. He didn't run any lights into close to 2 hours into the run any plates into close to 2 hours into the situation. When he was asked to call for a supervisor, he didn't call for a supervisor. He called for backup, and he told backup information to blow the situation out of proportion. And he also lied, saying that he had to stop. So if you call for backup and you say that you have a stop, and then when backup gets there, you tell backup, I don't know what I have here because I didn't stop them. Isn't that illegal detainment?
Wow.
Especially because not only did the situation play out that, but out of your own mouth, you said, stay put. Or stay here, or stay put, or stay here. Something along those lines. You said that, which means you gave a verbal order or command or suggestion for us not to go anywhere. So from that point in time, our right to move freely was taken away. Then you say you don't know what you have here. Right before saying, I have a stop. So you have a stop, but you don't know what you have here. So you have an illegal stop here. That's what you have. It should be.
It could have even been when they showed up, him going to them, or instead of stay put, right? Instead of stay put, gentlemen, you have a good night. And then he goes back to them and lets them know everything's good. There was no issue. And everybody goes in their car and goes home.
Right. But it's like, excuse me, but it's like he stumbled into a situation where he was like, oh man, this is a opportunity for me where I can abuse my authority, really, because you know that for the most part, if they don't go too far, most of them believe that they can do things and get away with it. So on top of the fact that he's not going to admit that he's wrong, all right? But if you pull out, he's not going to admit the fact that he's wrong, because the thing about it is that I'm not sure about who pays attention to who was paying too much attention, but he followed us and pulled over when we pulled over. He planned on following us and flicking us and pulling us over, but we pulled over. That timing of running out of gas and the split second of him being in the middle of attempting to run license plates and us pulling over, so he really didn't have a choice, because he wasn't going to be able to run the license plate unless he pulled over behind us. But because we pulled over, he had no reason to run the license plate. So he said, caretaking situation. Y'all pulled over. Let me make sure y'all pulling over for a good reason. Let me make sure y'all okay. This is what he's saying. Right? But it's all really him abusing his authority because you parked off to the side of the road. We pass you. You get into traffic. You follow us for about 2 miles, maybe a little bit more. We pull over. You pull over. But your body cam shows that you're in the middle of running the license plate and you didn't have time to run the license plate because we pulled over. So you pulled over. So you were looking for probable cause the moment you pulled behind us. That's why you opened your laptop and was going to run the license plate because you were looking for probable cause from the jump. The moment he pulled off and started following us, he was looking for probable cause in the midst of running the license plates. But he didn't get a chance to run the license plates because we pulled over. So he's juggled between this caretaking situation and not having probable cause. That's really where it is. But it's like, I can't say that I'm wrong and I illegally stopped you guys and I racially profiled you guys because I seen a van of non-Europeans pass me and I decided to pull the van over. But I didn't have a chance to pull over because the van pulled itself over, basically. So I said I was checking on y'all. But the only problem was nobody had a driver's license. But then we showed them, yes, everybody, there's actually driver's license present. Oh, so now the problem is this. So he's racial profiling. All of this, oh, I got discretion. I can use discretion. He's not using discretion. He's stalling the whole time. So it's abuse of authority. Nobody did anything wrong. You try to create a backdoor saying caretaking situation to infringe on people minding their own business. I thought the highway was public property. Not messing with nobody, having our own picnic, if you want to call it that. So it's like, so they had to take what they had and run with it and make it seem like they was saving the world or something or whatever it was. Like they made it seem like they was Obviously you can't be naturally tanned. You can't have a natural tan and go camping and wear camouflage in a colonized territory. And the Commonwealth of Massachusetts throw around the sovereign citizen word a lot, but truly they are the sovereign citizens. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the way that they create they statutes, whatever you want to call them, they laws, they rules, they regulations.
Talk about the 58A too.
The 58A, the 58A was adopted from a federal law. I believe it was like the United States versus Salerno, and it was basically adopted because people were getting out on violent crimes and basically finishing where they left off at. So the example that they used was it was a guy who was arrested for domestic violence. The cops picked him up from at home, took his girl to the hospital. Then she was released from the hospital. She went back home. He went to court. He was given bail. He made bail, went home, and killed her. So the 58A was created to stop crimes with victims, right? Physical force crimes. It was literally created to keep those people from finishing what they started. So somebody who was locked up for attempted murder might be held underneath the 58A so they don't get out and reattempt the murder, right? Or somebody with domestic violence don't get out and go beat up their girlfriend again or go kill her for pressing charges. The 58A was created for that. And it specifically tells you Commonwealth versus Young, Commonwealth versus Vieira, Commonwealth versus Mendoza, even in the United States versus the Salerno case itself, Commonwealth versus Scion. All of these cases tell you that passive, victimless crimes, regulatory offenses, crimes that don't involve extremely serious charges or extremely serious crimes or menaces of dangerousness should not be held underneath the 58A. So if possessing, let's say that possessing a screwdriver is your Second Amendment, right? Possessing a screwdriver is your Second Amendment. You have the right to keep and bear a screwdriver. The law says that if you keep and bear a screwdriver, then that's a crime. All right. So they've used the dangerousness statute to call the exercise of a right dangerous and a crime. But if the thing itself is a right, it cannot be dangerous. If you have the right to self-preservation cannot be turned into a dangerous thing. Everybody in the world has the right to self-preservation, so that makes everybody dangerous. That's the logic that they're using.
Mm-hmm. That's just like the logic of this shot's gonna keep you from catching some stuff.
Yeah, man, that's just dumb, man. It's just dumb because it's stupid, man. Because when I was locked up in there, people had the shots and they was getting COVID. People had the shots and they had the booster shots and all that, and they was getting COVID. And for like a week straight, they came to the cell and offered the shot. No, I'm good. I'm straight on the shot. Man, it was like what I want to say. It was like 60 days solitary confinement, and then I was in the fucking hole, the disciplinary hole, up until January 4th. From when it happened.
That's crazy.
Yeah. The dudes that was in there, the dudes that was in a disciplinary hole, they was in there for like getting caught with like weapons or drugs and shit like that. They was given 2 hours of like out of cell time. They would get an hour inside to like shower, watch TV, and then they would get an hour outside to like play basketball or whatever it was. Us, we was getting 45 minutes. If we was lucky, we would get an hour. Most days we was getting 30 to 45 minutes.
So it was definitely Inquisition going on with you more.
Yeah. I mean, and it's simple. I mean, you can call it what you want to call it, but the facts is the facts. Anybody who sent mail or got mail or even mail that I received while being locked up from the court is going to tell you. It'll tell you from this point to this point, I was in the disciplinary hole with an hour of rec. And they wasn't even giving us the full hour. Everybody else was getting 2 hours of rec. And this is not because like the rest of the dudes in there, I had got caught with something or I had got some type of write-up. It was just because of who we was and the case itself. But everybody wasn't going through it. So it's like certain of us, they put certain of us in certain places and made us deal with different things. Different individuals deal with different things. But it's like for the most part, it's really like I said, and it all really goes back to like what the prophet said. They own bad planning is because they should have planned a little bit better, because I don't know what they was expecting. Like I can say that they was probably expecting to try to mentally break me or something like that, right? Because the offer of signing the paperwork and we could possibly get you released, and I'm not signing that shit. That if it says that, I'm not signing it. That attitude created a lot of the situations, but it was like it wasn't a really arrogant thing. It wasn't a prideful thing. It was just like, yeah, man, this is just not what I believe in, and this, that, and the third. If I sign that, then that would kind of be like, lying under oath, penalty of perjury type of situation. Like, yeah, I don't really believe that. I can't sign that. So it's like it really played out for the most part of that. But once they realized that it was really drawn near, or they couldn't really, I feel like they only really released me because they had to. That's the only reason. That's the only reason that they released me altogether, or they let me out of the hole in the first place. I feel like they just had to. It wasn't doing anything. I was getting. I was. It wasn't having the effect that they thought it was gonna have. Uh, so and it wasn't because I assumed that they thought that I would just sign it. Eventually, I would just sign it. Like, but yeah, man, they create this. They create a narrative, and they want to make it seem like no, man. Some of us is just not. Some of us is just not willing to be slaves under any condition, in any form of any matrix. We just rather not be a slave. Uh, if we can do anything about it physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, I just rather not be a slave. So I mean, it's it's more of a weight and a burden on the people around me and the people that I love more than it is on myself because it's more of a like a material thing, you know. Um, I know that regardless of how it plays out, it's it's divine. So it's not really. I'm not surprised with the sellouts, the cowards, the people who picked sides and decided to go on the side of the Europeans, like the Europeans are American and not European, not foreigners. The fact that these people can overlook shit like a European tell a Mexican that they're not American, even though that I'm pretty sure it's the same continent, but have a European who comes from across the ocean tell you that they're American and you not question that one bit, and then have a guest in your house being America telling you that what you can and what you can't do, regardless to if you have ill will or no ill will, or you just want to mind your business, enjoy yourself, pursue your happiness, or whatever it is that you want to do is just make sure you have that hall pass, that free man slip before you do anything, or you want to call it a license, you can call it a license, but it's a hall pass. To me, that's what I look at it like. It's a hall pass. So that's why you get the hall pass in school, so they can kind of like pamper you into getting ready to ask for permission to do everything. I mean, at this point, it's more of like it's not even at this point. I would have to say even back then, I'm gonna ask to use the bathroom out of respect. But if you tell me that I can't use the bathroom, don't think that I'm not going to use the bathroom. No, I'm gonna tell you, is it okay if I use the restroom? I have to use the restroom, like right now. So you say no, don't think I'm gonna wait and not go use the restroom. No, I'm only asking you out of respect so I don't get up and, you know, so that's just what it is at this point. And they just don't respect that, bro. It's like you're not dealing with people with morals, and it's a lot of messages that got through to you, Sheik, and messages that you sent back. Uh, and that's just what it is, man. It's they criminals. We're not talking about ethical people. We're talking about criminals who are doing what they're doing to survive. They have to do this. They don't have nowhere else to go. I mean, and it's not like it's not like we violent and we trying to do no uh crazy shit. It's just we just want our peace. We just want peace. That's all it is. We're not asking for nothing else other than that. We just want peace. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's it. So it don't really surprise me, man. As far as they willing to go, when you keep in mind the history of what everything that they've already done. So I'm sure that they're I'm sure that they'll go above and beyond before they're willing to just give it all back or to admit that they was wrong. But Walden District Court, everything that was put on the record was thrown in the trash. None of it ever was recorded on the record. I let the trolls be the judge of if that's fair and impartial. If that's if you would think that's if you think that should fly. It's like a lot of one-sided stories. They don't want to turn over anything. If the ID ain't that big of a deal, if the ID isn't that big of a deal, why have I been asking for the ID for so long, but you were able to get warrants issued out of Rhode Island and warrants issued out of here and there and warrants issued out of you was able to get documents from here and there, but you're not able to get a wallet and an ID that I had on me when I was arrested and a fez that I had on me when I was arrested. All right. So it's like I'll let you connect the dots. You can do all of this, but you can't go get a ID, or you can't go get like just simple shit. Simple. So it's like you gotta have better lives for smarter people. That's all it is. I mean, you could tell a 2-year-old that 5 plus 5 is 10, maybe. Maybe. How it's going today. You can tell them that 5 plus 5 is 10, maybe, and they'll listen. And you know what I'm saying, they'll do a little research, find out, you know what I'm saying, if they ain't already then had a little practice. 5 plus 5 is 10. You tell a grown person that now today 5 plus 5 is 10, and they want to double check it with the authorities. They want to make sure a foreigner said it's okay. It just got to be certified from a certain group of people. Like I said, the truth is the truth, man, regardless to who's saying it. That's just what it is. They don't want to respect it. That's just what it is. I mean, the truth is still the truth. I'm not gonna say like I told them. I'm not gonna say I am somebody or I am something that I'm not. I am what I am.
You're reading my mind. I was gonna ask you. So do you think or do you know if they did that with everybody? Gave the paper to say sign this or you were holding it?
I don't know if they had everybody get that paper. Most people had like a conditions paper, stuff that they had to agree to as far as conditions to be released. But I didn't have a conditions paper. I didn't have anything that they went over and said that I had to sign and agree to as far as conditions of release. This was just a motion. This was a motion to reconsider. And what happened was this motion was supposed to be filed for my release because it was only supposed to be certain things stopping me from being released. So the attorney wrote up this motion, brought the motion to me, and this motion was basically supposed to counter all of those reasons. All right. And it was just a motion to reconsider the 58A. And it was like, it just didn't make sense. It just didn't make sense to me. They just asked me a couple questions as far as release. Do I agree to do this and do I agree to do that? And it was really like just two things. All right. And it was really just two things that I had to agree to. And that was it. But as far as them, as far as that motion, signing that motion and submitting that motion would have been penalty of perjury. I agree that this court has I'd rather just get the paper and show you the paper and just read off the paper because like I said, it's a copy of his it's a copy of the motion that he gave me. So it has the ink signature on, you know what I'm saying, on the copy. And it just says a bunch of crazy, just If you are more, you know better. Simple as that. You know better. If you see the paper and you are more and you know anything about the law, then you know better. And it's like I'm not willing to sign it. So I'm not signing it. But I see that the game that they playing, you have to play uh you have to play by the rules, and by the rules I mean you just have to play nice. They really easily offended. It's real easy to hurt their feelings and make them cry, and then they're not gonna want to play with you tomorrow at recess. Pretty much, that's just what it is. It's like they real tenderoni about how they like to be talked to. Don't speak too much truth in front of them. That's just how they is, as far as I'm seeing. So it's like I'm not signing no paper that says I'm anybody other than who I say I am. Simple as that. I am who I am. That I am. I am who I say I am. My name, my appellation is what it is, and I'm not gonna agree to believing, because that's the word that they believing something that I don't really believe. I don't believe that. And these is from like United States websites. These is from like your government websites. And I think that at the end of the day, that's what it really came down to on as far as like the release hearing was being able to really just get rid of his narrative. Oh, he's trying to say that I'm a sovereign citizen. He's trying to say that this, that, and the third. When the facts of the matter is, I'm not. I've never said that I was, and I don't believe anything that a sovereign citizen believe in. Is what I believe is what I believe. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. If I'm right, then I'm right. I'm not gonna say that I'm right when I'm wrong, and I'm not gonna say that I'm wrong when I'm right. So that's just what it was. So it's really just correcting the narrative, and that's how I really just went about it the last time around. It's just correcting the narrative because he's painting the picture, and if nobody says anything, which is the purpose of them sticking you with a court-appointed attorney, is so the court-appointed attorney doesn't rebut any of this shit, and he just lets the narrative stick.
Right.
Yeah, it's just not gonna play out like that. And then the court-appointed attorney ain't gonna. I mean, very few attorneys are actually gonna put in the time that's gonna be needed for what I'm saying, for any situation dealing with these criminals. So
So someone had said about and after this I'll bring in Brother Khalif. Someone was asking in the chat about what about signing under threat, duress, coercion, or is that even out of the question with regard to the thing they said to sign? No, it's not. There they go. Brother Khalif.
Islam to the panel, Islam to the mothers, Islam to divine law, Islam to Prophet Noju Ali, Islam to Big Mo.
Oh, there you go. Hold on, more Islam. Yeah, more.
As regarding the threat, duress, and coercion, it's factual, it's true information. It's a legitimate defense. And when it comes to information having those check marks to back them, it being factual, it being relevant, then use it. That's what I would say. I would say use it. But you have to remember that you're dealing with criminals. They have whiteout. They know how to edit stuff just like anybody else know how to edit stuff. But use it. A lot of the times when I sign stuff that quote unquote has to be signed, it's not a signature, it's an autograph, it's threat, duress, and coercion, TDC, or reserve all your rights. You do them all right? Or just don't sign. Or it's a lot of ways you can go about it, but you got to just remember that say I bring you a piece of paper and I say you have to sign this piece of paper in order for you to be released. And this is basically, this piece of paper is the last thing stopping you from being released. All right. You don't know if this person is going to examine that piece of paper and see if you wrote UCC on it or threat, dressing, coercion. So you have to be smart enough and use common sense on finding out ways to protect yourself. And at the end of the day, that's all it is. It's all about protecting yourself. So if you have to write threat, dressing, coercion and make it look like you wrote John Jacob Doe, then do that. That's what I like to do. I like to write threat, dressing, coercion and make it look like a signature. All right. Or UCC or pretty much those are the main ones. All right. I either don't sign, I don't sign it, always scratch out signature, put the autograph, reserve all the rights. And the best way to avoid a contract is just to not sign it. Like I said, a lot of these documents they're just binding instruments. So you don't want to bind yourself to it. You know what I'm saying?
Because some people might have the perspective of, well, just reserve the rights and sign the document and get out. But
right.
You're more on the side of, because of who you're dealing with, you're not gonna sign it. You're not gonna contract, opposed to protect yourself by signing it and getting out tomorrow. It seemed more of a threat to yourself than just not signing it at all.
Right. You have to put yourself in a situation. What I do is, you can look at it like a sport, or you can look at it like war, battle, whatever you want to look at it. It's more of a game of chess. Offense, defense is more of an offensive, defensive. It's more of a chessboard. Everything that they do for a reason. Everything that they do for a reason. It's a reason why everybody's name on their driver's license, state ID, social security, birth certificate, whatever you want, everybody's name is in all capital letters, just like the mail you get from the state and the court documents you didn't got and the tickets you didn't got and all of these things, from the all capital letters names to why you stand where you stand when you go to court, to why the court is designed, to how the court is designed, to the words that they use, and to the robes that they wear, and to why they stand when they speak, and why they sit when they don't speak, and why everything that they do in the system that they created is for a reason. So you have to keep that in mind and read in between the lines. Oh, you'll release me if I sign this paper. So what are you getting from me signing this paper? Because I know you don't want me free. So how does my signature balance that out? Right? How does my signature balance that out if I know you don't want me free? Yeah. But you're telling me just give you my signature, and you obviously my signature holds some type of weight, and you're not going to get it if that's what you want. You already have me in here, which means I already lost. Right?
How much
the people are
after I lose and the game's over, why you still try to make me lose?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've already lost. I'm not playing you no more. All right. We've played a game of cards. I know you cheat. I'm not playing cards with you no more. It's as simple as that. So it's like I'm not gonna sign that just because you say sign it, and then I can't trust you. So you're trying to say, oh, sign it and we'll release you. But just because I signed it and you said that don't mean I'm gonna be like, well, he said if I signed it, he was gonna release me. And I'm supposed to respect remedy from your golf buddy? No, so it's like, yeah, man, nobody wants to be in jail or juvie or locked up away from their family, nowhere. Whether it's overseas fighting a war or it's in jail, nobody wants to be away from their family and the things and the people that they care about and stuff like that. So it's like, at a point in time, somebody has to make a stand, man. Somebody has to make a stand. And this situation has proven to me, at least, that beyond my imagination, I thought I knew how low these people were willing to go, how far they was willing to go to not only hide information, but to distort information and mislead people. But actually being in this situation and wrestling the alligator myself, I see that there's no rules. It's like a street fight. There is no rules. The only rules is there's no weapons. Other than that, there is no rules. So that's what to expect from these people. Either be a good slave, make sure you have all your hall passes and permission slips signed and T's, you know what I'm saying, crossed and I's dotted, or like I said, or you decide to live outside the matrix, man, and it's just what it is. Like I said, and it comes with some bullshit. You might have to fight some agents. It comes with the bullshit. So it's like I'd rather be a slave on the run than be a slave.
Yeah.
Just a slave.
Chilling. Yeah.
So
if there's no options like that.
Yeah. It's
all about being the runaway slave. It ain't about being a house nigga. Forget all that.
Yeah, because it's not gonna be. It's getting comfortable in the shackles is just not an option. All right, it's just not an option. So,
I get you.
That's just what it is, man. So,
Brother Khalif, you have anything to add on?
Sure do. Keep in mind, they are criminals. And how do you deal with criminals? You don't trust them.
Yeah.
They are nose jobs from the beginning, straight nose jobs. Their whole entire nose job has been constructed on a false narrative because the country is Morocco. It's not the United States of America. So what authority does Massachusetts have? The state of? They don't have anything. They nose jobs from the beginning, meaning they frauds. Mm-hmm. They colored. They're not law. They color of law. And it's been documented across the board. And the method that they're using is just try to get people to deter them from their nationality. They want you to not know yourself. They want you to be a social construct, something that's not real, so they can continue to mistreat you. The moment you stand on natural principles, all that mistreatment gets shut down. They got to treat you like a human now. Can't treat me like no dog. I'm not a dog. And I'm a natural, living, sentient human. Mm-hmm. And the way you deal with criminals, you just don't trust them. They foreigners from other countries. How they gonna tell me that I'm not who I am? And everything else points to who I am, other than what they're saying. They're telling me I come from Africa. Everything else saying I'm home. They're telling me that I'm black. Everything else saying that I'm a Moor. They're telling me that I'm a minority, I'm colored people, I'm Muslim, I'm sovereign citizen, I'm Negro. None of that. We are none of that. All of those are social constructs made up by them to mistreat you, to take you out of national standing. Once you don't have any standing, you got no status. I could treat you however I want to treat you. You want to be a chair, then I'm going to treat you like a floor rug. I'm going to step on you. If you want to be a toaster, I'm going to treat you like a doorknob. I'm going to turn, open and close you. You want to be a refrigerator? Well, I'm going to load a whole bunch of stuff up in you that's not true. It's going to spoil your insides and rotten you because you're claiming to be something that you're not. Can't be not human when you actually are human. Divine law say you're human. So you're going to go up against divine law, say that you a dog. Mm-hmm. Divine law say that you are Moor. So you're going to go up against divine law, say that you are black. Don't work like that. national principles are real, not make believe. Humans are real. Humans are not animals. So principles are real. You can't be something that you're not. So stop trying to be a social construct, because that's where all your mistreatment comes from. And they know it. But they colored. And what they're trying to do is deter us from declaring openly our nationality and standing on principles. Because game over for them, and they know it. Go home, foreigners. Go home. Game over. Go home. The gig is up. You ain't American. You're not a national. You foreign hybrid immigrants from other countries. The game is up. Country is not the United States of America. The country is Morocco. Game over. Go home. Simple as that. I'm not going to be a make-believe for you to be real and mistreat me. Get out of here. Don't work like that.
Say that again.
Get out of here. It don't work like that. Everything in me, I'm standing on principles. I don't give a fuck what none of them say. Bring it. Whatever you got for me, divine law got better. So whatever, I do not care. I'm going to respect my bloodline so that my days could be long upon this earth land. Not some mystery cloud in the sky. Get out of here, Creflo Dollar. Get out of here, TDJ, with all that foolishness. Ain't nobody going for it anymore. Game over. Yeah. Simple as that. The gig is up. Go the fuck home. Like for real. The gig is up. Go the fuck home. I know you hear me. I know you do. All that color of law. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. I don't care. I really don't. Because you're not going to make me accept those tags, accept those brands, accept those labels. Not after I read the definition and know the true meaning of them. You're not going to get me to accept it anymore. None of us going to accept them. According to all true and divine law, we are not black, colored people, minority, Indians, Muslims, sovereign citizens, none of that BS. We human. And we have rights. And we will enforce them. By any means necessary. If I got a right, all rights reserved, then that's what I'm gonna autograph. That's what I'm gonna do. If I gotta prescribe or write on there or autograph on there under threat, duress, and coerce, then that's what I'm gonna do. If you say, I don't even care. You only care what you say anyhow. Because your language is colored. You could tell me you're gonna give me a bed of roses, I ain't gonna believe it at all. I don't even want nothing from you. Only thing I want from you is decolonization. Go home. That's all we want from y'all. Nothing else. But yeah, you can just write, so they can let you go. Cause they full of shit. Don't matter what. Cause see, what was supposed to happen is that they should never fucking kidnap you from the fucking beginning, yo.
Shouldn't have got that far. It went too far for no reason.
Islam.
Too far for no reason. Islam, Big Mo, you still there? It went too.
Islam, yeah, you know I'm here.
Yeah, more. I don't know if you have anything else to add on there or any other thoughts that you wanted to get out since you're out.
Well, I just want to say to all the Moors that supported, helped to stay fed, and minutes on the phone and stuff like that through the situation. I just wanted to let everybody know I appreciate it. especially you, Grand Sheik Kujo, the books that you sent with the messages left inside, man. It was read several times. I just want to say thank you and much appreciated to all the Moors that have been active and doing everything that they can to spread the news, get the word out. Everybody that's out there teaching and bringing people into the information. I just want everybody to keep in mind that it's not angels versus angels. It's angels versus demons. These people is criminals. They don't care that it's the truth. They don't care that it's facts. They don't care that it's sealed, stamped from Library of Congress or Joe Biden or Trump got their name on it. These people just they pick and choose on what it is that they adhere to. And once they've done so much wrong and violated so much, they're not going to admit to their mistakes. And that's really what the situation comes down to. They know the next time I get on with the Grand Sheik, I want to have some actual evidence, some videos to show you guys to prove that the situation was supposed to be over before it started. But I just want to say thank you to everybody. And that's about it, man.
Also, we like to say thank you for standing on principle too, Big Mo. Ashe.
Anything for the Moles, man.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about. There was a question in the chat. They didn't want to push the button. So we'll just answer that quick fast. Does anyone have a map that shows America is Morocco? So we're just gonna hit this off, and then we'll get the Moors to give their little piece on these people need a map to show that America is Morocco. But we'll just play this quick fast.
Is Bashar, and he also knows that North America is known as Al Maghreb Al Aqsa.
Of course, I know that. North America was known as Al Maghreb Al Aqsa, and it reported to the Sultan of Morocco. And there was a relation. This is why I needed to ask you, what's the relation between the first, colonials and the governors of Morocco, because they communicated, because on paper it was part of Greater Morocco.
And he also knows that North America is known as Al Maghreb Al Aqsa.
Of course, I know that. North America was known as Al Maghreb Al Aqsa, and it reported to the Sultan of Morocco. And there was a relation. This is why I needed to ask you, what's the relation between the first, colonials and the governors of Morocco, because they communicated, because on paper it was part of Greater Morocco. That's known.
That's known.
That's known. So if you're late because the boat has left the dock and you're late, sorry that you're late. But America is Morocco. I don't know where you've been, but the fact that you're late and you're looking for maps and all this type of stuff, and this stuff is common knowledge, that it's known that America is Morocco. How is it known? Well, just go look to the founding of the United States, and you'll find out that Morocco gave them permission. And if Morocco gave them permission, and Morocco supposed to be over there in Africa, why are these Europeans over here? Why did they go somewhere in Africa if the Sultan of Morocco and all that stuff? Oh, because America's Morocco. That's known. Master, I yield the floor. Islam Ara.
Islam, Grand Sheik.
Peace more.
Peace to everybody on the platform.
If you wanted
Islam.
If you wanted to speak on anything to do with the prior convo and the Morocco America thing.
Indeed. Yeah, so I want to tell the brother Big Mo, honors to you, man. I'm gonna give you your honors right now for being strong, standing up. You know what I mean? A lot of Moors haven't been through that type of situation, or they've been through a situation like that, but it wasn't as severe or as serious. And you know, it takes a lot of heart to stand up the way you did, the way the other Moors did. So honors to you for being strong and holding it down like an honorable one. And for Neil in the chat talking about maps, no one ever was born and it was just a map there. So maps are drawn. So if you want a map that says America's Morocco, he could go draw one and he'll have one. Or you could go online and find one, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of them online. But yeah, More, I just came on here real quick. I'm gonna keep it real short. Just came on here to say honors to the Moors that held it down. And I'm one of the main Moors that was on the front line defending you guys when they started talking crazy, because there was a lot of people talking crazy, even saying that Jamal was meeting with the Rockefellers and stuff like that.
Oh, you don't gotta be short, More. Take your time. Get it all out.
Islam, yeah. You know, I meditate on this. I defended you guys a lot, and at a certain, I even created a YouTube channel because of that. Like, there was so much media putting out false information when it went down, and I was just thinking, like, I felt helpless. Like, what can I do to help? You know what I mean? And I just decided, well, they're putting out information, you know, in a negative light. So I just got to put out more information to match the negative information with the positive light. And that's what I did. You know, I made a couple videos calling people out, these newscasts and stuff, talking crazy and just making up dumb stuff. And then there's a video all over the internet where Jamal's saying, we're not sovereign citizens, we're not black identity extremists, we're not this, we're not that. But every single article that these people put out is saying the opposite. And it's crazy because they realize that the public is so dumbed down that most of them are not going to do a quick Google search to find a video of somebody from the militia speaking for themselves. They know that most people see a headline. Most people just go with a headline. They don't even click on the thing. And yeah, I just felt it was necessary to try to put that information out, let it be known that these people are lying. You know what I mean?
Yep, that's why they snatched down pardon me, I apologize.
No, go ahead.
That's why they snatched down their YouTube page, so people couldn't go back and do research.
Exactly.
And again, to you, More, for being one of the ones talking up, you know, in favor, because we already know once, you know, they in dealing with our people, they figure if they take the head, you know, everything's done.
Yeah, but that's what they didn't realize. Moors are upright, independent, and fearless, not because we got some leader guy that's upright, independent, and fearless, and then we just following him. That's why this movement is a beautiful thing, because everyone in themselves is a leader. Everyone is a leader of themselves. You know what I mean? And then if you know the prophet the way you should know him by reading his literature, then you know that you're to imitate him. You know what I mean? And so if he was the head, then, you know, now you're the head because you're imitating him. Wow.
Gave you everything to save a nation, taking and save yourself.
Wow.
Islam.
Yeah, man, glad you guys are out. For the Moors that are out, you know, we're gonna keep pushing for the ones that are still in there.
Yeah.
You know, I watched that little hearing too. That was BS. You know, Moore couldn't even get half of the stuff that he needed to get on the record. He couldn't even get on a record. They kept sustaining the objections.
which it shouldn't even be. It shouldn't even be at this level, of course. But you know, you're gonna okay. They're playing a game, right? And you're like, I'm not playing this game. I'm not playing this game. I'm not playing this game. And they just keep playing. And it's like you're there. You're gonna either watch them play the game without you, or you're gonna speak up. You know, along the whole thing. Like, nope, nope. You know, you're gonna have your objections and your truth to put on the record while they're playing the game, instead of just letting them play the game without you. Because I've been in a situation where I was abducted, and I smashed the magistrate in the hearing with just a couple questions. You know, like basic questions like, there's different type of person in law. Is the all caps name, is that a natural person or is that a corporate person? And they can't answer. You took oath to the Constitution, they can't answer. They cut off the mic. They approach the bench. They have their little ex parte huddle. They turn the mic back on. We have an attorney for you. Objection. And then, you know, at a certain point, they just snatched me out the room, and I could tell it was a female cop that was she doesn't know anything really what's going on. You know, she's just an employee. So she was like, "You cannot talk to the judge like that." And I'm like, what are you talking about? I just asked her to put her status on the record. And then after that, the next hearing, they took me to the tank to there's like a tank underground. Like the jail has a underground that takes you through these tunnels that then take you to the courthouse. So I'm underground with all these people that are locked up in the tank, and when it's time for me to go, they start calling everyone that's going to the North Las Vegas courts, so-called courts. Everyone, they say, when you come out, go to the left, go to the left. Everyone's going to the left, and then when it's my turn, he said, you stand to the right. So what do you mean? I'm going to the North Las Vegas venue. I got to go to the left. You just told everyone go to the left. No, your court is canceled. You stay right there. It says canceled. So I'm all happy thinking like I'm happy thinking I'm getting out. And then when I get upstairs, I call my concert like, baby, they about to drop this. We didn't even have court today. She said, yeah, they did. They held it without you, and they had the attorney speaking for you.
That's crazy.
I was like, wow. So I know, you know, I've been through some of it, so I understand it, man, and much respect and love to you Moors that are actually standing on your square to that degree, because it's a big deal. You know what I mean? You're representing the nation, not just yourself. Islam, I yield the floor.
Islam, more, and give thanks for the music too.
Oh yeah, Islam. Thank you.
Thanks, yo. Give thanks.
Yeah, we got some more coming.
Yeah.
Islam. Hey, actually, to speak on that real quick, well, you know, I was doing music before I found out I was a Moor, and when I found out I was a Moor, I didn't do no music for like 4 years. But it wasn't until I started hearing your stuff. Yeah. When I started hearing your music and then other Moors that you do music with, that's when I realized, like, man, I could still do music. You know what I mean?
Yeah, gotta pick it back up. Trust me.
Yeah. And I just switched it up more. So honors to you on that point.
That was the plan. That was the plan.
You did that. Yeah.
That was the plan. Get all these Moors who got the little hidden MC skills and all that stuff to pull stuff out the bag on these people with some more science. Mess them up.
Islam, yeah, that's what they really don't want. That's why you see I did the little competition. I didn't even make top 100. Like, how did I didn't make top 100, but asking you send me the list of the people that made top 100 because I want to hear these guys if they're better than me.
Right.
No, they never produced it. So
I can't show you the list.
Yeah. Liars. Right.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Just like the state of Massachusetts, they can't show you their delegation of authority on. They're liars.
They can't show you a real law that the Moors broke. Well,
straight up.
Like anyhow, in all those cases, it never should have gotten that far. Especially with Jamal case, they standing in the middle of the road waving our national flag. That ain't a Star Spangled Banner. That's a national flag. They ain't waving ban banner. They should have never gotten that far, and they know it. All they're trying to do, because they put it on TV, they're nothing but libels, and try to deter people from openly standing on principles. Because once you stand on principle, you standing on law, and they are color of law. They totally opposite of law, real law. They color of law. So you stand on true law, you beat them every time, and they know it. But they criminals. So what they do, they continue to be criminals and kidnap people and all kinds and violate people's human rights. And they should not be allowed to get away with it. And they are not, because the gig is up. All the rest of the nations are not trading with them now, because they know that the United States of America is not a real country. They only exist on paper. That's a Star-Spangled Banner to do business glued to a side of a building. It's not connected to the land. It's an amnesty and commerce banner for business. And who gave them the authority to do business on the land? It's us. That's why they don't want to admit to it. Because the gig is up. We are their boss. We are. If they want to deal with corporate and all that there, we own the company. We do. The company is ours. It's on our land. If anybody should be paying taxes, they should be paying taxes to us. Because the country is not the United States of America. Fact. Known fact. Across the board. It's all public information. Anybody want to go and do the research.
That's the key.
It's not, and it's I don't have to go that far.
Yeah, that's the key. Anybody who wants to do the research.
Yeah, anybody wants to go do, because it's documented, it's public information. They try to say there was club, organization, secret society, schism. No, it's public information. All Prophet Noble Drew Ali information is public. Mm-hmm. All this information is public across the board. He ain't hide anything, man.
Yeah, that makes me wonder how much of Noble Drew Ali's literature did they hide that we never got to see.
For real.
Because if even like what we have, to some extent, we know some of this stuff is altered. Yeah. Imagine, because also how we got pictures of everyone from that time, except 3 pictures from the Prophet, like doesn't make no sense.
Yeah.
Because they trying to hide it from you. Game over once Prophet Noble Drew Ali and Marcus Garvey, what they had over 1 million followers each. Game over for them, man.
Yeah.
And they know it. All of them know it across the board. Farrakhan, United States of America, all of them. All these traders, Honor L, Sharif Honor L, Blackface, Jesse Jackson, Blackface. All of them. All of them across the board, man. Shaquille O'Neal, Oprah Winfrey, Whoopi Goldberg, Dwayne Wade, Will Smith, all of them know that the country is the United States of America. Samuel L. Jackson is not, it's not the United States of America. It's Morocco. Samuel L. Jackson, all of them know. All of them know. Everybody know that that is not Morocco, the empire over there. The empire is here. Mm-hmm. The man just told you it. It was once recognized as Morocco. What you mean was? No, it still is.
Right.
But he still, at least he admitted though.
Yeah. At least he did that.
At least he been honest with you. He ain't got his hand in your pocket
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? He ain't telling you a lie. He being straight honest with you. Unlike all of these people, Benny Crump, Sharif Anayel, all these guys, that's right, guys, in these temples that sold out, trying to put our birthrights in a fucking club. Pardon my language.
Oh, and then not only that, they come from the school of Moors exercising their rights.
Exactly. And they want to get on other people's platforms, be talking about, acting like they don't know what national principles are.
Yeah, yeah.
With their color of language across the board to nationals, know that this is the empire. Empire. This ain't no motherfucking pardon me. This ain't India. This is not India. We are not Indians.
That's the big one that a lot of them are falling for right now too.
Yeah.
Because see, they didn't even want to accept the fact that they were from here when Moors were saying it. When they say, yeah, you're from here, you're Indian, you know, how many people are hopping on that? And they think because the federal de facto government recognizes Indians, they think that that's where it's at.
Legit, yeah.
Which is all of those are social constructs,
right? And then Indian guys still calling you black.
Over there, that's Hindus over there, and then you have some Hindus here on our land in some of these convenience stores. When you go inside these convenience stores, these hair stores, whatnot, synthetic hair stores, and you speak to them in a rational tone of voice. You start talking natural principles. They listen. They already know what time it is. They just, because when they come over here and get through the Naturalization Act, they get sat down and the people in the United States Service Corporation, people tell them, listen, these people don't know that what's going on. So y'all don't tell them nothing if you want some rights. And they just agree to it. But once they agree to it, they giving up their own birthrights. And once they agree to it, then they're part of the mistreatment as well.
Exactly.
They get mistreated along with everybody that don't recognize national principles by those that supposedly gave them some kind of form of rights.
That's a fact. Because I know
they really just got privileges.
Exactly. So somebody tried to say, how come the Chinese and all these other people ain't going through it? I said, they ain't from here. You mean, how come they're not going through it the way the Moors are going? Because this is not their shit. But I guarantee they're following all those rules that the wars got to follow. That's why you don't see them up in the. How come we don't see the Chinese? They're not in there because they're following all the rules and paying all the taxes, just like a good war. And then they're not gonna fight for it like a Moor because this ain't their shit. Period. I mean,
the rabbit holes go deeper than that because they're getting all kinds of side deals with them. They get the
they're getting benefits off Moors remaining black too.
Exactly.
Who do you think they're making all the fiat off of? That's why they got nothing but blunt wraps and liquor stores and all. That's all they sell. They got a bunch of smoke shops, 7-Elevens. You know what I mean, where you could get more cigarettes and all that. They don't care about people's health. You know what I mean, if you had something in your heart, in your mind, to do better for humanity, then you wouldn't be out there. Your business wouldn't be a business that sells something that hurts the people. You know what I mean?
Exactly. They don't care about your health. Just ask them so-called royalty. They're apologizing for slavery. What do you mean you apologize for slavery? You apologize for that? The study of slaves, you apologize for that?
They could apologize by ending
really it. Doing, you want the people to accept that you genocide. You tried to kill them all. You apologizing for that? Once they find out that you were trying to kill them and they called you on it, now you want to apologize, you want the people to accept your apology? Get the swell out of here. What kind of apology you want me to accept for genocide?
That's still going on.
That's still going on.
Exactly.
Straight. That's still going on.
In a thousand, a million different forms.
So you want me to forgive you for trying to kill off my bloodline? That's what you want me to forgive you for? Well, I'm not going to forgive you for that. And I don't think anybody in their right mind should forgive you for it. You tried to kill them off the face of the planet, and they caught you. And you talking about, oh, I apologize now? No, You get the same thing. You get back in return what you gave me. No love. So get the fuck out of here. Go home. The country is Morocco. Fuck out of here, United States of America.
Right, and if it's United States of America, then what's the state?
What are you going on?
What's the state? Because like in the Organization of American States, what's the state?
Yeah.
If there's Ecuador, there's El Salvador, there's Mexico, what's the state? You can't say United States.
No, the state of make believe, because
Right.
United States is not a country. It's a fact. The state of make believe. That's why they treat people the way they do, because everything that they construct is make believe, and the people accept it. Then they dealing with a false reality. I yield the flow.
Islam. Big Mo. I don't know if you had anything else.
Islam.
Yeah, I don't know if you had anything else you had to get off your chest there.
Well, we got to let the Moors know that as far as the record go, it's been put on the record. You name it. The letter to the Sultan, certified copies from the Library of Congress of the treaty, they laws, United States codes, 28 3002 15A, telling you exactly what he telling you. United States is a corporation. This is their codes. United States codes telling you that the United States is a corporation. It's really just their use of legalese, and then they pretend that certain things don't exist. Like I said,
And remember, all of their, I apologize. Remember, all their legalese are constructed privileges, not rights. Pardon me, man.
Yeah, exactly. Though, like I said, and I mean, I just let it be known, really, that the rights I exercise are not given to me by any corporation or institution. They God-given inalienable rights that I exercise, and I don't exercise any right to infringe upon the next man or the next thing or person, however you want to, you know what I'm saying, look at it. But Moors just need to know that you just got to stand for something, man. You gotta do your part. At the end of the day, that's just what it is. None of us are built the same. We all built for different things, different purposes. So that's really just what it is. It's don't believe the hype. It's as simple as that. You can, if you want to be a comfortable slave, be a comfortable slave, and that's just what it is. I mean, everybody own up to what they is and who they is to an extent, I believe. So this is just the reality of the situation, man. We colonized, and everything requires some form of permission or license from a colonizer or passive slave master, if you want to call them civil. But if every man is independent of all laws except those prescribed by nature, other than those he willingly prescribed himself or consent himself to, then if nobody is hurt, I don't see how it's not forced assimilation to an indigenous population or group of people who choose not to do business with these people or associate with them at all. That's just how I look at it. As they cheat when they play cards, so I don't want to do business with them at all. If you cheat while you play cards, then I don't want to do any type of business with you at all if you would cheat at a card game. So that's just what it is.
Especially when you cheating when it comes to law and you cheating to put me fucking in jail. Nobody going for that shit. Game over. Throw that fucking color of law in the goddamn garbage can. Ain't nobody playing them games no more with y'all. That shit is not real. It's make believe. Civil-minded people don't deal with make believe constructs. According to all true and divine law, just like you just said, Big Mo, in line with divine law, we ain't hurting nobody standing on principles. Love is the first one. Love is the first one. So if you got that in your heart and in mind and in your gut, just stand on principles. They color law, they're gonna do whatever they do. You just keep yourself safe. That's all.
I mean, and at the end of the day, you gotta look at the situation for the possibilities of the situation. And another thing that I will add is the history of the circumstance and the situation itself, being on the 4th of July, being it described how they say it was described according to their side of the story. And just to think about the history and the foundation and creation of the United States, a group of men armed themselves and put up the first line of resistance against an oppressive force of taxation without representation, all type of abuse. And anybody who knows history had the opportunity or want to take the opportunity now to look at these documents of the Declaration of Independence and the documents leading up to the creation of the United States. It's literally history repeating itself. The American people have basically become those 13, now 51, however you want to decide to call, however you want to look at it, 48, 51, everybody want to say something different, states, the 13 colonies dealing with Great Britain, disguised as your own government by way of coup or however you want to look at it. But that's what it is. That's what it is. And they forcing you to be a United States citizen to participate in this game of Monopoly. So it's like more just need to get to work, just put the work in, because everybody that I talk to dealing with the situation from the inside, they want to know where's the building. You understand what I mean? They want to know. You tell them the temple, they want to know where's the embassy, who's they can call to articulate these matters for them when they get into certain situations, or where do they go to do this, that, and the third. And it's when you got copies of the information, it's real simple to connect the dots. They got it in your face all day. So people just need to realize that now you have the information, you have to guard it, because these people are willing to go to Dr. Sebi lengths to get rid of information. That's what we're dealing with. It's the age of information, but information has always been the enemy of people who fear the truth and fear this type of information. And it's just it's just time for people to wake up. And like I said, it's always going to be people out there saying that, oh, this, that, and the third, or whatever it is that they want to say, but they want to say it via digital means. So for the Moors who actually study, know, do, learn, teach, take notes, and help the next person as much as they can, is I mean, just keep doing what you're doing. And uh like I said, it's the situation is what it is. People gonna be who they are, and it's just you can't really let them see you sweat at the end of the day. So that's what it comes down to. Um, so yeah, I mean, just study. Um, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's all I really got for the Moors, man. Just say thanks again for everything, and everybody stay positive, stay healthy, stay
No doubt, man.
close to the
Anyway,
family,
Big
close to
Mo,
the
man.
principles. Um,
Big Mo,
that's pretty
man.
much it, man.
No, man, you did enough, bro. Trust me. Not too many people gonna stand on principles in the face of a nose job because they know them criminals. For example, let's say remember like the individual just come around and try to sell a fake jewelry. But like, yeah, it's 18 karat gold. It's real. It's real. And then you find out it's not real. You're like, man, I ain't buying that. Same thing with them. Same thing with all these social constructs. Same thing with all the lies that they've been telling. They caught up with them. All the lies have been caught up with. They're not real. So I'm not accepting them. You're not going to get me to accept a big mystery hand coming from the cloud and reaching down on McDonald's Burger King menu and create a woman from a bone that laid bunny rabbits with chicken eggs. It's not gonna happen anymore. You're not gonna get us to accept a social construct that's not real. It's not real. You're not gonna get us to accept color of law that's not real. It's not real across the board. So we are not going to accept it anymore. And the truth needs no apology. It is what it is. They are a nose job.
Hey, you know what? Not to cut you off, but you know what an apology is? An apology is when a court-appointed attorney comes to you and asks you, and well, not ask you, but tells you that you should ask to have a document that you wrote, a motion that you wrote, handwritten and submitted for the record. When they come to you and ask you to ask for it to be removed, recanted from the record, that's what an apology is.
No, that's them trying to cover their butt.
From my point of view, that's an apology. But you just have to really watch them and pay attention. That's all it really at the end of the day, and just study, man. Well, I'm gonna get out of here, man.
Islam, if I may add something real quick about for like all the Moors or all those people who not sure, about the movement and they want to see like physical things like the building and stuff like that. It's a fact. We all know that nations come from wombs, right? But where do nations begin? It's a fact that all nations begin in the minds and in the hearts of the people. That's the first place where a nation begins, other than the womb. So if you don't got it in your mind and your heart, you're probably not gonna see the building. You know what I mean? That's why there's so many Moors out here that do have it in their minds and their hearts, and they're manifesting that, as time goes on. So you will see everything soon. You know what I mean? And it was already here. It just a lot of it got destroyed, a lot of it got covered up. and you're gonna see it again. It's already there. Anyways, if you know what is Moorish, then you know it's already there. You know what I mean? It's just the fact that we might not have a particular building to say, oh, that's this government building or that's this or whatever. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it starts in the minds and the hearts, and I just want everybody to remember that.
No doubt. The building is the land. The building is the people. The building is the mindset of the people. Yeah. Everything that you see that United States Service Corporation doing is everything that we should be doing, because they are a copy of us. Everything that they have, they copied it from us. They copycats. And who did they copy it from? The original people. They copying us. Everything that they do, they try to be us.
Yep.
Even eat us.
And what you said about the building being the land and our bodies and all that being the temple and all that, that's a fact. All these buildings are constructed from materials from the earth. Period.
Yep.
They didn't get that material out of thin air.
They try to be us so much, they even put us on their skin. Imagine that. What the hell is we doing in melanin doing in a bottle? And it comes from human.
I bet you it was some stateless Moor that they got that melanin from.
Yeah, probably was. All the ones that they're not reporting that's missing. Man, this is crazy. It really is. This is the uplifting of fallen humanity, man, for the love of our children, for the love of life, for the love of earth, man, for the love of goodwill. These people need to stop. They need to be stopped, bro. If not,
the worst is yet to come.
Exactly, man.
That's the main thing. The main thing is for the babies, man. That's like I'm not like, I'll put the message out there, right? But I'm not gonna sit here and beat a dead horse, somebody that's over a certain age, because really it's the babies that need to be getting this information, because out of the Sunday school, that's where the leaders come from. Our future leaders not gonna be this 70-year-old who don't want to stop calling himself black. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna keep hitting them with the truth. I'm not gonna use the hammer right there. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna pound the truth in right there. I'm gonna pound the truth in to these youngsters that need to know they're yearning for the truth, and they're the ones that's gonna take it to the next level after us.
Yep. Islam.
I'm about to yield though.
Yeah, more. I'm about to get out of here. Peace and love to all the Moors worldwide.
No doubt. And also, thank you, brother Cujo, for standing on national principles always.
Islam, more.
Islam, soldier. Islam. Love you, man.
Love you too, more. Love to all the Moors out there. Honors to the chat muftis who chased all the trolls. Honors to all the Moors, all the mothers. Supreme honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Islam to all Moors.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Thank you.
Ashe, free the Sheik.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th day, Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day, independence and law, makes it a little of a lost case, with case laws, we break them down like Jericho, keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho, I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio, fake pandemics announced over the radio, annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains, I'm Rob Bass, mixing with rock the hard way, I was in a lost state, prophets told me up,
up right. Brought me to a lost gate, cooking like I'm Salt Bay, repping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J. Israel. And no, but do I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it, so the snake's still showing up. Stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for light, the book of Genesis. Astroplane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life. Finish him.
Morris Omar, key man or oracle.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence alarm, makes it another lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mixing with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets told me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Salt Bay, repping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J. Israel. And no, but do I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it, so the snake's still showing up. Stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for light, the book of Genesis. Astroplane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life. Finish him.
Morris Omar, key man or oracle. Using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical. Lost in metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic. Fact slap a dirty more or a Drew Ali critic. Calling him Thomas or Walter and get your face caved. Or cut like a close shave. Drowned in my brainwaves, squash my heat waves. Activating Kundalini. Abyssinia invaded by Mussolini. Selassie I in exile. Reptile in Genesis, niggas appearing real. All I see is false evidence. DA are feminists, stomped on by elephants. More like no prejudice, but want Moorish benefits. When you feel the pull magnetic resonance. Apis horns of the sacred book are maleficent. Great cosmic mothers, return to blessedness. No pestilence, ace all the testaments. Tap into remembrance, never to forget again. Use energy right, not put spell effects on men. Wandering the earth plane with no veiled shades. Keeps you a mental slave as the horizon fades. It's been decades since Christian crusades. Not enough rebellions, too many vigil bouquets. Holding on to the fence, burning on doomsday. War ruled by Mars, it might be on a Tuesday.
Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick. What we do here is we add some common sense thinking to everyday situations or comments that may arise. Want to give it a try?